We're going to talk about some security myths, and we're going to bust them.
Yep, hopefully.
Bust them.
I'm pretty good at that, but we'll see.
We'll see. Mythbusters, that's a show.
Call it Tech Busters instead.
Yeah, we'll call it DS Tech Busters.
Geek Busters, I don't know, we'll come up with something. Maybe we'll use AI to create our name, but anyway.
Yeah, stay till the end so that you can find out where to get your free security assessment. Drop your questions below this video, hit subscribe, all that good stuff. Have you ever heard of maybe, hey, if I unplug my computer, it's safe from hackers?
Right? Yeah, if I just unplug my computer,
you ever hear that?
if I shut my computer down every night, they're not going to hack me once my computer's off.
Yeah,
that's
my computer's off.
No,
I'm safe.
Unfortunately, that's not the way it works anymore, because what's happening is usually most of your computer updates are happening after hours. So usually if you're a business, for example, and your people are working 9 to 5, we're not running updates during business hours, slowing your people down. Usually it's after the fact. And so you need to leave your computers on after hours to get the updates and things like that. Leaving it connected isn't going to be a huge, technically, yes, if it's unplugged, no one's going to get into the computer, but they can still physically access it, and there's other ways to get onto it too, in a sense. So realistically, it's better to leave your computers on. Getting the security updates is actually a better worthwhile thing to do. And if you do have some weird system that needs to be completely separated, air gapped, or some weird use case, maybe, but that's usually extremely few and far between, and usually only in old manufacturing or some sort of situations where they can't just update.
That's true.
Because you have to buy a whole new machine that's $500,000 and it's running on an old computer, and you can't just update the computer in that whole machine, right? So sometimes you have to do certain things. But
I've had customers call me and ask for parts for something that's ancient, and I'll be like, ugh. Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, that was
I'm
made
sorry.
in 82. Yeah, good luck. Yeah.
That's not happening.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna have to figure out a new solution.
So usually you don't just want to, don't just unplug, shut it down. Now, and the biggest thing with that too is unplugging the computers, turning it off isn't going to stop it. So say you walked into your computer in the morning and it says you've been ransomware, or something's flashing on your screen. It's very common. Someone's like, I'm just going to unplug it and shut it down. And then they think that they're safe. Actually, shutting the computer down is one of the worst things you can do, because as a tech, there sometimes are hidden keys that are on the computer when it's up and running that are in what's called memory. So it's temporarily stored, and we may be able to extract certain things to help recover without having to pay the hackers or different things like that. So it's actually very important if your computer is infected to leave it on, but then you can unplug it from the network, disconnect the internet from it so it's not spreading to other computers, right? You still want to unplug the cable or turn off the Wi-Fi if it's Wi-Fi connected, so it's not, spreading is a good way to do it, because really if you can have the computer on, we might be able to potentially recover certain things from that if it's actually happening and live at that point. So that's what it's talking about. Unplugging equals security. Again, is how hackers can through physical access or other networks, things like that. A common one I hear a lot too is, we have antivirus. We already have, Norton, or Windows comes with Windows, built-in Defender. Isn't
Windows
that good
Defender?
Enough? You know what I mean? It's unfortunately, having just one thing isn't enough. Security is almost look at it they call it an onion approach. You have multiple layers. So your email, you'll have an email filter looking for spam before it even gets to you. At that point, when someone gets it, they should have some security training to know to look for links. At that point, if they click something bad, at that point, you have an endpoint detection system like antivirus or something that in theory could hopefully stop it from spreading at that point. And then you have that connected to an alerting system. So you have multiple layers. So along this path, there's multiple stops for a bad attack to happen. So that's usually where you're going, is you have multiple things on the computer to help layer it. You might have zero trust with the solution, where you can only install applications that are on a list. They call it application whitelisting. We have solutions that do that for really secure environments. There's lots of things you can do that can make things secure, and just having just one antivirus, unfortunately, if you're dealing with secure information that's personal and databases and stuff like that, that's you really should have a layered approach to that. This one says securing one system is enough. So obviously, that'd be for if someone's well, our server has all the security on it, all these laptops we don't care about. It's all interconnected in a network. So if one thing gets breached, it can lead to the other. Even if you have all the security on your Fort Knox computer, all the other computers can be a potential endpoint to that computer to break into it, which kind of gets in, And so just you want to make sure that all your systems are secured well, because it's almost like having a house where you maybe have a really nice fence, you got a couple guard dogs, you got a fancy computer, cameras, all this other stuff, security systems, but then for whatever reason you have a back door that you leave unlocked all the time. It's you have all this stuff in place, but any computer that's on your network is a way in, and so they're going to find that weakness and exploit it. So you want to make sure all the computers, even the laptops, have the same security software and are updated. This is one of the, I'd say probably the most common thing that I hear where we live in a lot of smaller towns is we're too small to be targeted. Why are they going
to hear that one a lot?
Why are they going to attack me? I have 20 people or 50, 40 people, whatever size business
three
you
people.
have.
I have three people in my office.
Exactly. Whatever it is, you're like, who's going to bother attacking me? We have such little data and all this other stuff. And the unfortunate reality is that they're actually practicing on the small businesses before they hit the bigger targets, because the way that hacking works now is that you don't have to have like a computer science degree, all this programming to be a hacker. Unfortunately, the hackers have made it easier for what they call script kiddies. So someone who just has a malicious heart with not even that much technical knowledge can go out on the internet, find bad programs that are already created for them, and then they're using them without knowing the ramifications, maybe even fully of them, and they're just doing bad things, and they're practicing on all the small businesses, and then trying to just disrupt, be silly, whatever it is, or some of them truly actually trying to get monetary value from them. But usually they practice in the small businesses before they do the big target, and then they'll just to try to kind of up their skills. It's like a thief. They're going to break into a bank right away? Probably not. They're going to probably break into, maybe they stole a candy bar from Walmart, and then now they're breaking into houses, and now they're doing this. There's an escalation of growing of that before they get a big target. And the hackers are the same way in the digital battlefield. They start with small targets, practice, and work their way up. So unfortunately, they're even seeing that small businesses are being targeted just as much, if not greater, than the large enterprise companies, because it's too hard to break into the big companies. It's not worth all the time if they can break into 10 smaller organizations and maybe get more from that. So don't think that because you're too small you're not going to be targeted. Unfortunately, the way everything's connected now. And
on a different video, when I was talking to Dave one time, his analogy was more like the hackers aren't looking at you or your business. They're looking for holes.
They don't even know how many people you have in your organization, right? They're using a search engine like Shodan, which has open internet website ports available to search, and they're just looking at numbers. So they see a number and they're going to try to break into it. They don't know if behind that number sits 1,000 computers or 10. They just see that, this number is vulnerable. Let's try to break into it.
If you're in your UP or New York City, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Exactly. Yep. So that's, I hate to sell security with scaring, but that's just the true reality of it, is that it does happen, and you're better to be prepared than to be caught in that. So so basically, obviously with DS Tech, we do offer security scans, things like that. We like to focus on the preventative maintenance because we'd rather have an event never happen than try to worry about how do we recover quickly from an event. Obviously, we have those plans in place too, but the idea is you do continuous scanning and continuous maintenance now is the biggest thing in the security industry, where it used to be like, once a year, let's do a big scan and see how things are and work on it, maybe patch the holes and do all our updates, on a yearly or a quarterly basis. Now it really should almost be like monthly. You're just looking at patching and all that stuff. And obviously, if you have us as a client, we're updating your systems, doing this on a recurring basis for you continuously as well. But this is more for those clients who maybe don't have an MSP, whether it's us or anyone else. Just something to keep in mind is you want to have continuous updating happening all the time throughout the year, not just at scheduled intervals, because it's just the way you need to be now in order to be proactive on the security front there. So we do have like a galactic scan. So if you're completely, curious where you're at and you just want to see, they do kind of like a preliminary scan. It's the same thing as like basically hiring a thief to just scour your house, look for all your holes, and then rather than actually take your jewels, we'll come back to you and tell you, okay, here's what we could have taken if we wanted to, and then we'll kind of help you through securing that. There used to be a show on TV like that where they hired thieves to break in. It was kind of an interesting one. So it's similar concept. We have the scans. We can.
My son likes to watch one where this guy just like breaks into all these locks and stuff.
The lock picking lawyer.
Yeah.
Yep. I have no referral. I don't know nothing specifically with them. We don't, whatever. But
no,
I watch his YouTube videos as well. Yep. No, it's very interesting.
It's interesting and entertaining.
Yep.
But yeah, we do have free, as of now, I don't know how long they'll last, but we do have free galactic scans. So make sure you ask for one. Go to our website, dstech.net, sign up for your free assessment, and drop your questions below this video, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll see you next time.
Yes.